Howdy, howdy. Today, it's just me, Kev, here for a minute or two before Granville arrives, because today is a special day. It's Granville's birthday. When we first started discussing starting a podcast, I had originally come up with the idea to do a fully paranormal podcast, investigating not just aliens, but ghosts, demons, and cryptids too, for example, Bigfoot. I suggested doing a live investigation for episode 50 on a haunted mansion, but Granville was having none of it, because Granville is genuinely scared of ghosts. He does not like them at all. So at the precise moment that he refused to do ghosts, I came up with a rule. On special occasions such as birthdays, Christmas and Halloween, we can probe any topic, not just aliens. I haven't shared this rule with Granville yet, hence why I'm recording a little intro here without him. So today, for Granville's birthday, we are probing a poltergeist. I'm going to maintain that it is an alien probe as long as I can hold out and see if he twigs. Let's see how it goes.
I'll be a dentist, and I get off on the pain I inflict.
Howdy, howdy, probers.
Howdy.
Today you are listening to the But It Was Aliens podcast, an extraterrestrial comedy podcast where we probe alien goings-on to keep humanity safe through knowing the truth. Well, sometimes. I'm your lead investigator for today, Kevin the Grey, and with me as always is today's co-investigator, Granville Moonwalker. Whoop whoop. Today is a special day, isn't it, Moonwalker?
Why is it a special day?
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Moonwalker's birthday.
It's my birthday. My birthday. Birthday.
No, Moonwalker. Today, I have a birthday treat for you in the form of one of our strangest investigations yet.
Ooh.
We are probing a case in old Blighty, England herself.
Whee!
Get yourself a cup of tea, pop in your dentures to hide those teeth, and let's have a chat about the weather.
Ooh. The weather's really hot today. Not gonna lie.
It's not really British weather, is it?
No, it's gonna be sweltering here. Not cup of tea weather.
More chippies on the beach weather.
Pesky seagulls will be around now.
Damn them.
Damn them to hell!
So our probe takes place today at number 30 Privet Drive. No. Number 30 East Drive, Pontefract, on the Chequersfields estate of East Yorkshire. It was a nice house. It stood at a corner on top of a hill. Jean and Joe Pritchard moved in with their 15-year-old son Philip and 12-year-old daughter...
Philip!
Sarah Terrence!
I'm Philip!
And their 12-year-old daughter... Diane, in 1966. Other family members lived in nearby houses. At first, all was well, but it wasn't long before unexplainable things started happening. The family went on holiday to Devon, leaving Philip behind. Behind in the care of his grandmother, Sarah.
Did Philip not like Devon? Why didn't you want to go? Or was he not allowed to?
I wonder if he had school exams. That's an interesting thought. I didn't even stop to consider that when I was researching it.
He's definitely not the favourite.
Perhaps. Anywho, it was a warm August day, but in the house, a freezing gust of wind swept by, startling Sarah. When Philip got in, he noticed white powder falling from midair all over the living room and onto the floor. The powder wasn't coming from the ceiling, but it was almost as if it was coming through a portal in midair. Sarah, confused, went to see her other daughter Marie, who lived just down the road.
Now, hold on. Philip is in the care of his grandmother.
Yeah?
Are they in her house, or is she in their house?
She's in their house.
Okay. And how long have they been living there?
Not very long.
Could it just not have been when sunshine goes through a window and you see the beam of light, you see all the dust particles and stuff there?
That's
Just in that?
Because when you first move into a house, what happens over the first few weeks or months is that things settle.
Or were they just having a cocaine party?
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
Cocaine.
I'm going cocaine. Not in real life, I mean in this theory.
Yeah, I'm going cocaine too.
In real life. So, Marie visited the house and thought it best to clear up the white powder, which was continuing to fall. Marie went to the kitchen to get a cloth and slipped. There was a puddle of water in the middle of the kitchen floor. By this point, a commotion had begun and neighbour, Enid, came to see what was going on. Enid turned off the water supply, however it made no difference, and more pools of water began appearing. These pools were perfectly formed with no splash marks, so they couldn't have been caused via drips or via pouring. The group reported the unexplained water leaks to the water board, who agreed to visit. Later that day, a man from the water board turned up and probed the scene. There were no issues with the pipes, drains or any other features, and so all the board could think of was that the house had an unusually large amount of condensation. An hour later, the pools stopped forming.
Enid is such an old English name, isn't it?
Hello, I'm Enid.
Enid. But then every time you say it, you just think of the author.
She doesn't sound like a street granny, does she?
Never know with them street grannies. So the perfectly formed pools of water, they must have just looked like someone had got a jug and slowly poured it.
Yeah, there weren't any like splash or drip marks, so it must have been the most perfectly formed.
But then,
and you know, when you pour, even when it first connects, it's going to splash, even if only a little bit.
But even if it is only a little bit, by the time that amount of water has hit, no, because then it's still going to hit that pool of water and go further.
Yeah, there's always going to be a splosh. So later that evening, Philip went to the kitchen and saw that the counter was covered in sugar and tea leaves. He shouted, "Grandma, it's happening again!" Sarah burst into the kitchen and both watched in amazement as a button on the tea dispenser went slowly in and out of its own accord, covering the draining board in tea. This continued even when the tea dispenser was empty and Sarah screamed, "Stop it!" As she did, there was a loud knock in the hallway. Sarah and Philip ran to check what happened, but there was nothing in the hallway. Then the light switch began flicking on and off by itself. Sarah and Philip noticed that a plant, usually at the foot of the stairs, was now halfway up and missing its pot, which was somehow on the landing above. Nobody else was in the house. You'd think that was enough, but no. At this moment, another loud knock came from the kitchen. Sarah and Philip, now truly shitting themselves, went back to the kitchen to find that the crockery cupboard was vibrating as if something was inside. They opened the door and... nothing. But then, another loud knock elsewhere in the house.
So I would not have made this connection if not for your quote at the start. That plant is Audrey 2.
Feed me, Seymour!
Audrey 2.
Feed me now!
Do, do, do.
Down on Skid Road.
Is it Skid Row?
Skid Row? Skid
Yeah.
Road.
Skid Row.
Skid
Row. Did they not think to put a cup in front of this tea dispenser? Maybe it just wanted...
Audrey wanted a cuppa. We are in England after all.
So what I have noticed, where's the alien? So far we have no UFOs, no aliens. Like, nothing untoward and extraterrestrial. This sounds like a ghost.
I'll have you know that firstly, this is But It Was Aliens, an alien podcast.
Exactly.
Secondly, Audrey was an alien. Audrey 2, sorry.
So it's the plant.
I'm not saying that, but you just got to stick with it because the probe gets deeper.
I'm keeping my eye on this plant. Maybe it's like, what was that film? That really shit one with Mark Wahlberg? The Mist?
Oh, gosh.
Whichever one where it was the trees. The trees were killing everyone.
But let me just... I'm not going to get to the end here, but...
The Happening. That's it. It's happening.
Imagine if an alien was in another dimension to us. He could see us, but we couldn't see him or her.
So
it's there interacting with everything, but we can't quite detect it with our senses.
as if both universes are sitting on top of each other.
Precisely.
Or not side by
Well,
side.
there's more to this
but there's
universe
like a
than we can
layer.
detect.
So, like the layers on top of. So this alien, if he's able to see us and interact with us, does that mean that his thinking is on a higher plane?
You've just blown my mind.
So whereas, for example, we only use, 10% of our brains?
I think that's actually bullshit, but I get the sentiment.
Yeah, I do too. But they say that. Is he using, say, 30? So we're on plane 1. He's on plane 3. And if we could speak to him and gain his knowledge, he could then take us to another plane of
He
thinking.
could help us plane up.
He could level up.
So following the knock, the air chilled again. Truly freaked, Sarah fetched Marie once more. Upon returning, the crockery cupboard began vibrating once more. The group went to ask the neighbours if they were responsible for the banging, but the neighbours were shocked by this and had assumed the banging was Sarah and Philip. After the three left and chatted for a while, the sound had stopped, so Marie left and Sarah and Philip went to bed. But as Sarah was saying goodnight to Philip in his room, a chest of drawers began swaying. Sarah and Philip left the house to sleep at the neighbours.
So,
They legged it.
I don't fucking blame them. Some spooky shit is going on in their house. I would have fucking been out ages ago. But they stuck it out. Warriors.
Well, they didn't stick it out for very long. They've gone to sleep at a neighbour's.
So we've had knocking, plants moving, forms of water. I would have been out already. Son, I would have dialed your door number and been like, son, let me in. There is no way in hell I'm staying at home.
There's an alien trying to communicate with me.
But, yeah, alright, carry on. I'm holding reservations at the moment.
Jean and Joe returned from their holiday and had being told what had happened at the house. Joe was adamant that the events were bullshit.
Joe's the man.
I like Joe. For 2 years, there was no further activity. But then, things got worse. First, pools of water started returning. Loud knocking sounds then began once more, and they were even more frequent and powerful when the family had company.
So,
So?
for 2 years.
Yes.
Was it exactly 2 years?
Approximately. I don't have exact dates, unfortunately.
What happened on the day that it started up?
What are you looking around for?
Because a shadow caught the corner of my eye. There's a little bird outside, but it just tripped me out.
It's an alien.
So, for example, did anything significant happen on the first day that this started? Or the day that it stopped?
They're good theories for an investigator to have, but they're not theories I can answer at this point. But maybe the alien lost connection for 2 years.
Has he got Virgin Media?
His finger stopped glowing. So things got stranger. Farmyard noises began emanating through the house.
It's not what I see here. Farmyard houses?
Not in my research notes. I haven't provided you with the updated ones.
Oh shit, there's a farmyard house here! How'd that door get in here?
Rooms started getting colder. Furniture started getting overturned. Green foam began coming from the taps. Substances began getting smeared onto the door handles. These occurrences became so frequent that the family nicknamed what was going on Fred. Objects started floating through the air. Then, foul smells started travelling through the house. You know that when foul smells start, something big is coming. What do you think the aliens are going to do next?
teabag them. Or pop a squat on their faces while they're asleep.
Do aliens have balls to teabag?
I don't know. Tiny little alien balls.
Why would they be tiny?
So rooms are getting colder.
Yes.
Furniture's starting to get overturned.
Yes.
Cold rooms indicate ghosts.
No. This is But It Was Aliens. Aliens.
That's why it's tripping me out even more.
We're heading towards a probe.
Alright. So... Oh, they don't probe them while they sleep. Grim. Well, being probed when you're awake is grim too, but...
What do you think that foul smell is?
Reusing an old probe.
That glowing finger.
But green foam.
That's not a usual one, is it? Usually in like paranormal stories you'll hear of blood running from the taps, not green foam.
Does the... Like when they turn the taps on, does it come out then? Or is it just random times it just...
No, when they turn it on it's coming out green. You know what else is green? Aliens.
Does it solidify after?
I don't
just
believe
foam?
so. I think it's just green foam, yeah. Certainly nothing mentioned that it was solidifying.
So, essentially someone could have put too much fairy liquid in a water tank somewhere else. That's what seems to be coming through. So they're getting a pure source of fairy liquid with a tiny bit of water.
That would be bubbles rather than foam, wouldn't it?
Depends how much fairy liquid you're using. Whatever's 99.8% fairy liquid and...
Where would you pour this to do this? Bearing in mind this is in England.
I don't know. It just doesn't... Chewbacca. It just doesn't make sense.
Johnny Cochran. Wow. It wasn't all horrifying. At times, bites were taken out of jam sandwiches, although the bite mark suggested whatever had taken the bite had gigantic teeth. On one occasion... It just doesn't make sense. On one occasion, an aunt visited the family and proclaimed that she did not believe in ghosts or goblins. Immediately, a jug of milk flew out of the kitchen and over the aunt's head. The aunt's gloves, which had been left on the side, then began floating as if worn by an invisible figure.
What?
They then vanished and a crash came from upstairs. The family ran upstairs to a bedroom to be greeted by the gloves above the bed, one hand making a come hither motion. The aunt began singing a Christian song, to which the hand began conducting.
Oh.
The aunt ran from the house and would not return.
So this alien has the ability to go invisible.
Absolutely.
So...
Well, think back to what I suggested earlier about the in a higher plane. So
yeah,
if you're 2D, you can't perceive the third dimension. If you're 3D, there could be further dimensions.
That's true.
This presence, this alien presence, could be caught in dimensions. So we can't quite detect him.
Essentially,
but it's interacting with our dimension.
If it could interact with ours, could you slap it? Because wouldn't you try slapping like in between where the gloves were with something?
We don't have the ability to perceive this dimension, but the alien can perceive us. Therefore, the alien
but it can
slap
also
us
physically touch something. So could you not?
Well,
do the same?
No, I don't think so.
And it took offence to the term goblin, because as soon as she said goblin, milk jug. So. Little green invisible alien does not like to be called a goblin. Absolutely. And also that Christian song must have been quite a jam if it just started to conduct. But clearly it's not anything demonic because it enjoyed the song. That is true. Alien. Has a sense of humour. Indeed. So with the occurrences increasing when visitors were around, a friend doused the house in holy water. But aliens don't care about holy water. Whatever entity was attacking the family responded by painting upside down crosses on the living room walls and doors.
All crucifixes in the house were also destroyed. Thoughts?
A few. A friend doused the house in holy water.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you try holy water on an alien?
Well, they obviously didn't think it was an alien
Well, that's
at this
true.
point.
They probably thought it was a ghost.
But
it
not
clearly
working.
hasn't worked.
Yeah,
So
because
it's not a ghost
indeed.
or demon. 2. Don't you have to be a priest to be able to make water holy?
Yes, but
'Cause
then
you
you could
can't
give that water to someone else.
But a friend doused the house. Kev, can you just come to mine and douse it with holy water, please?
Yeah, I just nipped to the church to get some.
See? Are there pictures of the painted upside down crosses?
No.
Really? When was this?
1966.
And they don't have a camera to take these pictures?
I'll get onto that towards the
And
end.
they haven't updated their art skills to be able to draw this? Okay.
So things continued to progress. An egg teleported to another room before being smashed. At this point, Joe called in a paranormal investigator, Mr. O'Donnell. Mr. O'Donnell determined that the visitor to the property was neither ghost nor demon. Mr. O'Donnell assured the family that their experiences wouldn't last and left. But things got worse.
Paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly shit at his job. Because he told them wouldn't last and he left. So he wanted to up and get out of that house before.
He's saying that he detected what was
Yep.
coming.
And he was like, what he meant wouldn't last and would leave was him.
He was like, it's not a ghost or demon, it's a real nasty alien, and I'm not waiting around
I'm not
for
sticking
it.
around for this. I'm out. He left. Things got worse. He was clearly wrong. An egg teleported.
Yes?
Did a portal open up and the egg... So, you know, in Portal...
Yeah.
Portal gun, 2 portals. Did it just go...
Yeah, so the alien took it into its dimension, walked along, threw it back.
It's a waste of an egg. But... I suppose if they took it into their dimension, they didn't just carry it around. Although that would have been weird, seeing a floating egg. If I was that alien, because clearly we know it has a sense of humour, I would have made little stick legs and stuck them on the bottom of the egg, and then just had it like mind it walking across the floor or across the back of a couch, and then turn it and then go.
Maybe it did that, but they shat their pants so much they ran into the other room, didn't see that bit, and then just saw it reappear.
Possible.
So a black-robed figure begun appearing. The first appearance came at night. Jean and Joe were in bed when the figure appeared, floating over the bed. It didn't say a word. It just stared. The appearances gradually became more regular, and family members and visitors all begun seeing the robed figure, but nobody could ever make out a face underneath the hooded robes. Fred did not speak. He just stared menacingly. Over time, it became clear that Diane was a target of the alien figure's activity.
Where did this alien get a robe?
Supermarket? What are you shaking your head at?
Supermarket. Not only that, why are they still at the house? They've stuck around through some absolute bullshit.
Yeah, well, they've tried to deal with it because I guess all their family are around, so it's like their home.
I wouldn't give 2 shits. I'd be out. This, as the alien read up on what a ghost is, and it's just fucking with them. Because a figure floating over the top of the bed sounds ghost-like, and if I open my eyes to see that, I don't know what would happen. I would probably
Shat your pants
that's a possibility.
and jump out the window.
That's another one. I would either be so scared that I didn't move, or I would black out. Either way, the next day I'm not going back into that house ever again. People are stupid.
So next, furniture started sliding along the floor even as people were sat in it, especially Diane. When Diane was in bed, her sheets were torn off her. Jean went to check what had happened, and while she looked, Diane and Philip's sheets swapped places. Diane was then pulled from her bed while sleeping and thrown to the floor. Diane ran downstairs to tell her parents about what had happened, but it wasn't over. Diane's hair suddenly stood up on end. Diane, as her parents watched on in horror, was then dragged screaming up the stairs. Up by her neck. Handprints were left on Diane's neck. At this point, the family thought their only option was to contact the local church to request an exorcist. What are you thinking? Would an exorcist solve the family's problems?
Again, I have multiple questions here.
That's not really an answer, but go on.
How does Diane know that she was pulled from her bed while sleeping and thrown on the floor?
I think if you're pulled by something you can't see and thrown on the floor, it's pretty obvious.
How does she know it wasn't Philip?
Because Philip didn't do it. She'd have seen him.
Covering all bases here. This thing really doesn't like her, does it?
No, I guess not.
What has she done? Was she shit talking it?
She cussed Fred the alien.
Because it's not gone after any of the others, it's only gone for her.
To be fair, if you were an alien and a family had moved into your home, which one would you target to make them all move quickest?
The mother.
See, I was thinking that parental instinct would be to protect your children, so it'd be one of the children, and it'd be strongest with the youngest and most vulnerable child.
Clearly not. I'd have put the fear of God into the mother, because then she would have been like, I'm not staying here. She would have given the father an ultimatum. Whereas a lot of parents would think their kids are just acting up to get attention. And if that pulled her up by her neck and there were handprints there, what shape were the handprints? Does this alien have human hands?
Human-esque. I suppose you can see finger marks or talon marks.
Do we have pictures of these?
No.
So, I need to stop saying that. They've tried holy water. They've tried a paranormal investigator. None of that worked. Because that stuff doesn't work on an alien. So why would you try an exorcist?
Precisely. The local priest, initially sceptical, soon agreed to complete the exorcism. But as he did, the priest was terrified. He knew. The moment the ritual was completed, the house was filled with the sound of dozens of balls striking the roof.
Tiny little alien balls.
A candlestick on the mantle flew towards the priest and hung in midair in front of the priest's face. The priest ran from the house screaming. The exorcism was not successful. Exorcisms don't work on aliens. Another exorcism was completed, but all remained ineffective in removing Fred. Any further thoughts at this point?
An exorcism is not going to work if it's an alien.
Precisely. We know that.
But
These guys haven't got there yet.
why are they still in the house? If I was Philip, I'd be up and out. Right. Or even Diane. You got this shit targeting you specifically, and your parents still want you to stay in the house. Have they tried removing her from the house so she goes and stays with someone? And do the things still happen?
So if you remember at the start, the family went to Devon. So it was only Philip and the nan in the house.
And it started then, didn't it?
Yeah. So in total, the house was visited by the local mayor, police officers, a vicar, psychics, and paranormal researchers.
Wait. What is the mayor going to do?
Well, he had to come and offer his services, being a good mayor, see if he could help.
You have skills that do not apply in this situation. Like, just wasting everyone's time. Why are they wasting the time of these people? Like, sorry, the mayor's wasting his time going to help, like, going there. He can't do anything. Mm-hmm. Useless. Why are the family wasting their time with the mayor, the police officers, the vicar, physics, and paranormal researchers? Just get out the house.
But their family's all around them.
Move into another house.
What if the house is
Move into a barn. Get a couple of tents and pitch up outside in someone's garden. This thing does not want you in the house. It's that clear. This alien acting rather ghost-like dickish. Maybe he knows what scares people.
So no one who visited could determine or stop what was happening. The stairs incident was not the end of Fred's attacks on Diane. An electric cable was tied around Diane's neck, but then, suddenly, things did just stop. That was it. The alien left.
What?
Just like that.
So did it not...
Maybe that dimension barrier went back into place.
Did he want to... Was he close to killing her, and then all of a sudden just had a change of alien heart, and was like, can't do this, I'm off, and goes?
Maybe. The house is currently vacant, and Fred the alien has warned that whoever moves in needs to be gone within 12 months.
How?
You see, Fred has briefly visited neighbour Carol Fieldhouse. Fred stares at Carol, but rarely speaks or does anything else. He just stares menacingly. Now we have established it wasn't a demon or ghost, and further evidencing this fact, ghosts haunt places. Fred could leave the house. Aliens. So what do you think caused all this?
Why has he just decided to speak all of a sudden? Why is there a 12-month period that they can live in the house for 12 months and they're fine as long as they're out on the 12th?
He gets increasingly pissed off.
What? And why Carol? What's his connection with Carol?
Well, he just wanted to let her know because she's next door.
Could have told the family.
Patch.
Could have just been like, you've got 5 months left on your lease. If you do not get out in that 5 months, I'm going to start turning shit up.
Maybe he's shy.
So are they still... Oh, the house is currently vacant.
Mm-hmm.
Currently is today. How long did they stay in the house?
A period of time.
Idiots.
So in the 1500s, during the reign of Henry VIII, a monastery of Cluniac monks was situated nearby. A monk was reported to have been hung and killed for the rape and murder of a young girl. This girl had been Diane's age. At this time, the town's gallows were directly next to 30 East Drive, so we have a site on an alien hotbed of activity. Thoughts?
I knew this wasn't a damn alien.
It's aliens.
That is bullshit.
The house has been...
Hold on. How long have we been friends?
More than 2 decades.
Right. And I would say you're my best friend. If I was to get married, you'd be my best man. So I have a question for you.
Yes?
Why are you fucking lying to me? I see no alien shit here. And why have we gone back to monks? There was no... Was there a UFO there? Did some UFO come out of the sky?
Yes. So the house has been empty for many years, but only a few years ago, the house's owner, Philip, sold the property to the producer of a film about the house. Neighbour, Carol, had seen Philip in the garden just before he sold and asked if he had sold it to his nephew, as she knew the nephew was deaf. Carol had heard the TV blaring out at night. Philip replied, turning pale as he informed Carol that he had not sold to his nephew and that there wasn't a television in the house. The last thing Philip said was, "Oh no, it started again!" That was the last time Philip has been seen at the house.
So it was the last time Philip had been seen or been seen at the house?
Been seen at the house. Today, the house has been turned into a paranormal tourist destination. Television show Paranormal Lockdown, among others, investigated the house and found some of their most compelling evidence ever, witnessing many of the activities that had been experienced by the family. In visits to the house today, Ouija boards are banned from the property. As recently...
Wait. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't use a Ouija board for an alien. So why are they banned?
Maybe Ouija boards can connect to aliens. Bullshit. As recently as 2016, a paranormal investigator saw the figure and took a photo. This photo shows the ghostly robed arm of a monk.
Ghostly robed.
Ghostly, not ghost. Ghostly robed arm of a monk holding rosary beads. A face has also been photographed staring out of a mirror. This figure, too, was wearing a black hooded robe. I have the alien photos here for you to see today. If you'd like to explain what you're looking at.
What I can see is two chab-looking people standing in front of a mirror. There's clearly got to be a third with them because one of them is holding his phone. Hold on. No, he is holding that sideways. One of them is holding his phone, and the angle is at. He's clearly not taking that photo. Someone else is taking it, but there's a mirror in front of them, and in the reflection by the stairs, looks like, you can kind of see a ghostly figure. And I say ghost because it looks ghostly. But if you actually look close enough, you can kind of make out two beady eyes in the shape of an alien head. But that could also actually just be
an alien.
A ghost head.
And moving on to the next.
And in the next... Okay, in the next, there is a mirror on a wall in the hallway. Not the same mirror, but in this mirror there is definitely a figure of some kind. And there is no... Well, to be fair, this one is also opposite the stairs. And at the angle you're at, it could just be someone sat on the stairs, and they've just taken this picture at a dodgy angle, because you can't see around that corner. So it looks like someone's sitting on the stairs. It does look creepy though. Okay. Number three, there is a hand holding something round a corner.
Rosary beads.
They're a bit blurry at the bottom, but they could be rosary beads. And that could just be someone peeking with their arm around the corner. That's not... Okay. There is a mirror on the wall, and there is nobody in that reflection of the mirror. So that arm is there with no reflection.
Your face just dropped.
I've got goosebumps. This is a fucking ghost, isn't it?
This case is referred to as the Black Monk. Do you know what the Black Monk is?
Clearly not an alien.
So I've made a rule here on But It Was Aliens.
Oh, have you?
On birthdays and special holidays, we can take a break from aliens and probe a non-alien paranormal case.
You're a bitch.
I recorded a little segment before you got here explaining this to the audience, which I'll show you after we finish up.
I bet you did.
Happy birthday, Moonwalker! Do you have any fears in life?
Spiders and being paralysed and ghosts. You're a bitch.
The whole way through you were trying to justify it in your mind that it sounds ghostly. What's this alien doing? He's got a sense of humour. You look like you've started sweating.
It's just hot in here. And you're a bitch. Dickhead.
Did you know that poltergeists don't actually haunt houses? They haunt people. They can be drawn across space and time to those they sense are scared of them, whom they develop a connection to and feed off of as their powers grow.
Is there a documentary about the Black Monk?
Several.
We're not watching them.
Why not?
I don't know how their powers grow. Like, are they some kind of...
They feed off your fear.
Oh, what am I trying to think of?
Dick.
You're a dick. It's it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It
is an alien. Well, actually, he's a god, but godlike alien.
But feeds off...
You look like you want to kill me.
I'm just not watching it. Thing is, I have no problem with movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because with films, like, you just know they're films. Even with films that are based on real stories, I watch no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Except with a documentary, it's just a little bit different. And not watching it. Don't give a shit. You're a twat.
When we were first talking about starting this podcast, I suggested doing paranormal cases and perhaps for special, like 50th episode, for example, doing a live investigation, going to see a haunted mansion. Granville's reaction. He told me in no uncertain terms to fuck off.
Stand by that statement. Prick.
So today, I guess we can't say whether it was aliens, but I can confirm that nobody has ever been able to debunk this story.
It's because there's a ghost.
Many in the town confirm the events. Sometimes in these stories, the folks at the centre have been seeking money or fame. This family just wanted to be left alone.
Well, they didn't, because they stayed in the house, twat.
They didn't seek publicity, and it's only after they've sold the house that it's come to the public eye a bit more, whilst they faded off into the background. Or Fred got them. So you remember earlier on you were talking about cameras and not taking photos? They didn't want the attention, like I said.
Yeah, but you've got proof.
That's after they left, though. So it's unusual that even paranormal investigators weren't very interested in this one at the time, though. So I guess today I'm asking you whether you're saying that it was spookies. Was it spookies? That was a spooky.
That was.
It's coming for you.
Can you remember back in
2006?
I thought it was 2006. When we walked past that shop.
Yep.
Those trainers. So there was a pair of trainers in the window. They were white Adidas Superstars.
Mm-hmm.
But they were custom made with little ghosts drawn on them.
Mm-hmm.
Called Spookies. We were going to get that pair of trainers. Well, I certainly was.
I definitely was too. We just didn't have any money on us that day. We were going to go back the next week.
Yep. It wasn't even the next week, it was the next day.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
So, came back the next day, trainer's gone. I always miss those Spookies.
Mm-hmm.
These Spookies can fuck off though. It was Spookies and...
Spookies!
Is this a true story?
Yeah,
Or is this
absolutely
made
true.
up?
No, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, definitely not watching the documentary then. If you said it was made up, then I probably would have watched it.
You don't need to. Fred's coming for you.
If something happens to me, something's happening to you.
Well, that's all right, because I don't believe in ghosts.
I'll make you believe.
You just made me think. You know how we talked about being Mulder and Scully, and I was like, I'm Mulder, you're Scully. Mulder believes and Scully's the skeptic. I'm Scully.
You're a bitch.
Right, so that's it today on But It Was Aliens. Moonwalker is never sleeping again.
Nope.
Can I just say that honestly, I've got a pretty top-notch setup we use to make this show, and honestly, my computer crashed about 12 times researching writing this episode. I swear that's true. It's never crashed before or since.
It's because you messed with him. You don't fuck around with ghosts and shit.
Too late.
You can't fight them. Like with an alien, yes, it's physically there.
Yeah.
Ghost can just bitch slap you at any point it wants.
I still hold that what if ghosts are aliens?
No.
But anywho, if you're interested in probing us, you can catch us on Instagram at But It Was Aliens Podcast. We are on the Twitter at But It Was Aliens. If you have a story for us, you can email us at butitwasaliens@gmail.com, or you can join our Facebook group at Extraterrestrial Towers, where we may post memes or chat about probes. Speaking of socials, we had a bit of interaction with a podcast called Lemon Squeezers a few weeks ago, so I thought I'd just take a moment to mention it. I wasn't expecting much, as we've had some generic posts from quite a lot of pods at this point, but I listened and actually I really enjoyed it. I tried over one of their earlier episodes, and they were chatting about whether a whale's bumhole was gaping enough that a human could pass through it, or whether the whale would have to really crank it out. So the idea is that if a whale swallows you, you survive and you pass out the other end. I'm in to the podcast, not the bumhole. I've listened to every episode since. It's basically a couple of London geezers chatting about what's topical that week, making Flight of the Conchordaist songs and answering bonkers listeners' queries such as would you rather. If you're looking for something new, give them a try. But that's it from us. I've been your host today, Kevin the Grey. He still is Granville Moonwalker. Thank you for listening. If Fred doesn't get Granville, he'll be back as host next Thursday. And remember, if in doubt,
Hashtag probe.
or shit your pants.
Hashtag probe. Probe. And if Fred does come and get me, then Kev's next.
It's fine.
Peace.
I won't see you.
You John Cena all of a sudden.
Panties.
Oh, pennies.
Was it Spookies?
It was stupid.
It was Spookies, yo!
You've got to ask me twice. Spooky shit.